Did anybody watch? By the way, did anybody watch the NBA? Do you guys watch NBA in general?
No.
Did you? I didn't know one person that watched the NBA Finals. Not one person. It's like, apparently, it was the worst ratings they've ever had,
Really?
and it's like nothing else is on. Like, nobody's. Everyone's like, no, I'm good. It's like,
I
get it.
I don't watch it normally. I'm not a big basketball fan.
Yeah, I don't watch NBA very much either. So Utah Jazz is cool because it's our only professional team in the whole state. It's the only one, and so it's like, well,
never thought about that.
I lied. We have Salt Lake Real. Apparently, it's a soccer team.
Real.
That's how. That's
okay.
It's like soccer. All their teams are named after companies.
I don't know soccer.
Well,
no.
That's the only thing I don't watch soccer. But like you look at their jerseys, the name on their jersey for the team is a company name. Like the company.
I honestly didn't even know there was
name.
like state soccer teams.
Well, it's
I
not.
thought it was just like the USA team or something for the Olympics.
Yeah. So they have pro leagues here in the United States, and so we have one in.
I thought they just like played other countries.
Yeah, like there wasn't a pro thing.
We just got one here in Nashville, and don't quote me on this, but I'm almost 100% certain they just named the damn team Soccer League.
Really?
The Washington football team?
Yeah, like the Washington football team.
It's
like, guys, come on.
It's something. I'll have to figure that out. I'm gonna research it and look it up on my phone. I'm gonna tell you what the name of it is. It's something.
The
really
Nashville
dumb like
soccer team.
Yeah.
Wow,
hilarious.
It's very original.
They're like, we're just gonna go with it. Washington did it. Let's just us do it.
Wow,
it's funny. Did you hear about the Washington Redskins? Like, so they're trying to switch their name over, right? So there's a bunch of potential names out there that they could take over, right? Like the Washington Senators. Go ahead, Jesse.
Nashville Soccer Club.
Nashville. That's all it is.
Stop.
It's the name of the team.
Oh, jeez.
Do they have monthly meetings at the mountain mics?
It's just like a rec team.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Anyway, so the Washington Redskins, they dropped the name Redskins. So they have all these potential names that they go for. First of all, like one's like the Washington Senators or something stupid like that. But then they had one cool one that's called like the Washington Red Tails. And it's named after the Red Tails, which is a World War II.
That's not allowed.
No, so it's World War II, and it's a black squadron of African-American fighter pilots. And it was like the first one. But it's pretty cool. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Plus, like, it has red still in it, and I think it'd be kind of cool. You could make that work, right? It's better than the Senators or like.
Wasn't that a baseball team? The Senators? Pretty sure.
I'm sure.
I don't know if it was Washington, but
Washington Nationals is what the baseball team.
But I'm pretty positive there was a baseball team back in the day
sure.
called the Senators.
So they had all these names, right? That like everyone kind of knew that eventually they'd switch their name. Well, one of the Washington Redskin fans bought up all of the domains and the rights to all those names, and he's had it for years apparently. And so basically, if they want it, they have to pay him. And he says he's a fan, and he's like, I just reserved it. But it's like, yeah, also you're gonna make money. You're
I
not
reserved it. Now give me $1 million.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
welcome.
I'm just a team. I'm not gonna I'm just a fan. I'm not gonna overcharge or something. I don't know. But it's like, if you did that and you've been sitting on it for 10 years, you're charging them quite a bit of money for the name, which probably means nothing to them, but still.
Right. I was just say even if they pay him $1 million, they're like, fuck it, get out of the way.
Well, it's like the guy that owns
play one player
Woodworks.
15 times that.
Yeah. Well, the guy that owns Walker's Woodworks, right?
Yeah, that guy's
I was just about to say that. You got me.
Yeah. I mean, people do it all the time. There's got to be just people out there that domains.
There's companies that do it, and that's who owns that.
That's right.
There's like it's like domain something.com or some bullshit.
That can't be super lucrative, right? There's always ways around it, especially the more and more it goes on. Now you can do .us if you want to be in the United States, or if it's a local company.
But the .com is like the highest SEO.
Yeah, I know, but still, there's other ways around it, or you can.
Right.
It's like most people aren't going to pay you $20,000 for a freaking.
Yeah, it's like an old business model.
Yeah.
Well, I did a thing this week. I started actually listening to woodworking podcasts.
Oh. I have
Which
not
ones?
dived into
Yeah.
that. I expect people to listen to ours, but I don't do it.
Yeah, I started listening to actual woodworking podcasts, and I've enjoyed it. They're actually really good. I listened
I've
to.
always listened to them.
Well, you always talk about them, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check them all out and see. And I thoroughly enjoyed them. I listened to a bunch of different ones.
Weird.
I listened to Shop Sounds. I guess that's Nick Key and those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to one with Mark Spagnola. What's his?
Wood
him
Talk.
and Cremona.
Yeah,
Wood Talk.
Yep.
Those guys are they're really smart guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're very smart. And then, what's the other one? What's the one that Coffee's got?
Another Woodshop podcast.
Another Woodshop.
Nick was on that, the last one.
So
Yeah.
they're
Speaking
good.
of shop sounds, we will be having KJ Sawdust on our podcast next week. So come back for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be sweet.
I mean, he's not as big as us, but you know.
How big is his YouTube? It's got to be pretty freaking big, right?
He just got serious about it like this
So it's
year.
his Instagram that's that big.
His YouTube's doing really good too, though.
Yeah.
But he has like really high quality. What's crazy is he uses his phone and only his
That's
phone.
it. Yep.
Really?
But it's like super nice production, great shots and everything.
Yeah. You
Plus
can tell he takes his time.
Yeah, plus he does a super good job at the project itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He incorporates hand tools a lot, right? Or is it
Quite
kind
a
of
bit, yeah.
It's like a mixture, right? Kind of the hybrid woodworker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I got to get into hand tools. I have 2 planes, like hand planes, and I have not. They're still
the
in
bench
box.
dog ones, or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
me
they're
too.
they're in the box. I need to get
I've
stones.
used them a
I
little
need
bit.
to get it all done. It's just I haven't had the time or patience to sit down and actually film it, and because I want to make a video out of it, like me taking them from the box and doing the whole thing. But it seems like it keeps getting pushed back and back. I think I've had them for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used them a little bit. I flattened a top with them and like sharpened them. I got those DMT diamond stone. DMT? I think that's what it's called. Diamond plates.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I know.
DMT.
That's that thing
It is DMT. I swear.
I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure
It is DMT, but yes.
DMT means something else.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Rogan again.
All the time. Actually, I haven't because I unsubscribed from Apple because he's on Spotify. He's still on Apple, but I was like, I'm just going to unsubscribe. And then I keep forgetting about it. And then I don't switch over. And now I'm going to have a bunch of them to listen to in a row, probably.
Yeah, I haven't listened to him as much either. I don't know why. I just been diving into other shows and YouTube. And
Yeah.
So I put up a TV right there. And so when I'm in my office now, instead of just listening to stuff, I actually can play it. So I've been going through more YouTube than actual podcasts. But I watch a lot of podcasts now. So
Yeah.
that's why
I see you hung up your epoxy thing and your light switch is still crooked.
Oh yeah, I'm not
just about to
changing
comment
it.
that, Brandon, you
I'm
got
not
me.
changing it anymore. After last podcast, I was like, you know what? It's just gonna bother people. And
I was
like
going to
that.
say it before we started, and I
that.
was like, no, I got to save it for the podcast.
So when I put the wood trim on top of the fake brick, it's gonna be right under it, so it's gonna be even more obvious. And I'm really excited.
Why don't you just
about it.
put up a black plate? Then it'll match the wall.
No, I know. It's been a week since I've even noticed that it was crooked. But
We'll talk about it every episode until you change it.
Until you change it, my head's gonna be like this on the podcast.
I'm good with it. That's all right.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, I took down that Mullen Woodworks sign, put it in my shop, did that this week, and then hung up.
You should just
that
go
other
ahead and
one.
burn that because it's no more.
Well, it's still it's like vintage now,
Oh, it's memorabilia.
Yeah.
Like all my Walker's Rustic Woodworks shirts that are in my drawer.
Do you actually have those?
Something.
Dude, I have a bunch of new ones that never been worn.
I never even knew you when you were Walker's Rustics. I don't
That's
think
not
so.
true.
Really?
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? I thought you were when we started talking.
I've only been this for like a year and a half.
No, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like you've been Walker's Woodworks forever.
No.
Really?
Nah. And he changes his name every 2 years too, so
Yeah.
it's hard to keep up with.
I'm about due.
Like Jason said, just add "and more" to the end.
I know.
It'll be
That's
all
a
right.
good idea.
I did just
And
change my
more.
YouTube name finally. I guess it was just under my first name. I don't like how YouTube does the channel names.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Well, that's like Chris Salamone. His YouTube channel is Chris Salamone, but it's 4 Eyes Furniture.
Yeah, so I had it just my name, and then now I put it my name, and then it's like Mullen the maker as well. So I have it first and last name, and it just lines up. And so I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work or if that's gonna be weird, but
Gotcha. Maybe I should like really lean into it and just make like a super long one.
yo, like our email.
Walker's Woodworks, the maker, more and welding, DIY, gardener.
and
Barbecuer.
That's right. Oh, speaking of barbecue, have you guys? I don't know. Can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast, but you guys saw the bacon wrapped Oreo thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it now. I've seen
Yeah.
so many people doing it, and I kind of want to try it.
I think we talked about it.
I can't remember, but I do want to try it really bad.
I'm torn.
Really,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know, man.
Jesse doesn't look like he's feeling it at all.
I can't do it.
Well, he
Why?
doesn't
I don't
like.
wanna do it
He
that
doesn't
way.
eat.
You
He
can't
doesn't
do
eat
it at all?
sugary stuff.
I don't
wouldn't
like
even
all the
try it?
candy sugar stuff. Nah,
He's drinking a freaking LaCroix for God's sake.
That's worse than a cardigan.
Now, if you had on a cardigan and drunk a LaCroix, we can't be friends.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't drink soda, so I drink water, beer, coffee, and LaCroix. It's like
I
the
make
only
fun
thing
of
in my life.
my buddy I work for all the time because that's all he drinks.
I
I
drink.
like LaCroix.
I like.
Bubbly water. I've tried like every flavor. I'm like, nope,
No,
can't
I
do
like
it.
sparkling
2
water,
drinks,
but-
poured out.
I like sparkling water. I just don't like LaCroix.
Dude, I've
I like
tried it.
the
They
other ones.
they keep buying different brands. They bought like Waterloo and like Polar Ice and like
Yeah.
some other. They're all disgusting.
No, just buy the one from Walmart called American Clear, and it's actually sweet and it's not disgusting because it's actually sweetened with aspartame, which is the same sweetener that's in Diet Coke and all that crap, and it actually tastes good.
So like bottled cancer, basically.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
That sounds more up
down
my
here in-
alley,
Dude,
Down here
what
in the
doesn't
South-
cause cancer? Just saying.
right?
What doesn't? Everything causes cancer.
Who
nowadays.
knows?
So I'm just like,
Down here in the South, we got some little stuff called Clear too, but it ain't water.
Yeah.
It looks like water, but it ain't water.
Don't drink it like water.
you're like, that's usually what I drink on these podcasts, but
Yeah.
Comes out of the mountains of the Appalachia, and it'll woo.
Yep. I bet.
That's funny. Yeah. What do you guys work on this week? Were you in the shop at all?
Yeah, I got a video out on the YouTubes this week on.
Just super helpful, by the way. I will vouch for it. Not
Yeah,
being sarcastic. I actually learned like several things.
Which one is it?
I apologize
Oh,
for
the
thinking
tips.
that you were being sarcastic, but
No,
I wasn't
I was
sure.
dead serious. I was like, it was literally like my mouth dropped. I was like, why am I so dumb? I did not know this.
It's a good trick. I like measuring tips and tricks because I'm terrible at math. I've always been terrible at math. I don't like math. It's been the bane of my existence in woodworking. I'm not afraid to admit it. When I first got into woodworking, I was absolutely that guy that was like, it's 37 inches plus 3 little lines.
Yep.
I still
Yeah.
do that occasionally.
I was going to say I was that also like earlier today.
But got that done and then finished up tonight getting the shop completely moved around and cleaned up and got my dust collection back up and running again. And I just kind of sat there for a while afterwards and looking around. I was like, man, this is the happiest I've been with my shop, I think, ever. It's just so much room in there. It is so, like, the flow of it is so much better. I think the dust collection is going to be so much better with the shorter runs until I get a larger system. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited to get in there and get some stuff built now and filmed. Got my camera set up with a little bit better stuff. I put a post up on Instagram the other day with got a bigger monitor for the top so that, you know, on my regular DSLR camera, you just flip the screen around so you can see it. And as Jesse will contest, I'm a little too old for that. I can't see it. I can't see it that far away
The old
anymore.
geezer.
Is that a small rig thing?
Is
that the
I
brand?
got the
Yeah.
small rig cage on it, and then
Yeah.
you can put multiple. I don't know what it's called. The little receivers that are on top of cameras, where you put the extra flash or
Yeah.
your mic.
Yeah.
You can put
No
those like,
idea.
everywhere. So I put
That's
my
cool. Is that the one
shotgun-
Jason has too?
I
Jason
don't
Bent
know.
has something like that.
He may.
I think.
I know MWA Woodworks has it,
Mm,
and
maybe that's
Nick
who it
Key
was.
has it.
Yeah. Nick has everything that has to do with the camera.
Yeah, Nick does. But I can put my shotgun mic on there now, and I can have my lav mic receiver because I got the Go system, so it's got a receiver, and I can have the monitor on there, and I never have to take them off. Usually I'm having to switch, back and forth when I'm doing different stuff with the mics. Only thing I have to do now is unplug one and plug, the next one in. So,
dude, I'm so redneck. I don't even change. I just leave my shotgun mic on top and unplug it and just plug the receiver and let it hang. Because I only use it for intros and outros.
Yeah.
And very rarely for what you used it for in that last video, just talking and demonstrating.
Man, it's not. Talking like that is not something that comes second nature to me.
No,
but I
me
enjoy
either.
it so much more than voiceovers.
Yeah.
I hate voiceovers, or I hate doing them. I enjoy videos with them, but I don't like doing them. But I enjoy much more just putting a mic on and talking my way through something. I can do it a lot more seamlessly.
I can't. That's my problem. I'll try to do it, and I'm like, well, this is gonna take 4 hours.
Yep. I just don't like the time consumption of it because I like getting my specific shots. So I try to get every process. I try to get 3 shots of whatever process I'm doing minimum. And so I change my camera a ton. So I hate being able to do that. And it's okay, now I got to put on my lapel mic and then I put the lapel on because my garage, if you just have the shotgun, it's way too echoey and I can't get it out and it bothers me. So it's
I don't ever do that.
Then I got to put my lapel on, do it. And I did it for one video for a solo stove project. And after that one video, I said, I hate that. I'm not doing it anymore. And so now I just filmed the whole project and I just make sure I get my 3 shots minimum, whatever. And at the end, I edit the whole thing. And then I go back and do the interview of me talking. And I just talk through the process and then edit it in. And it's just so much easier.
Yeah, I like that. I like your style on that a lot. I've actually adopted just a little bit of that in a couple of my videos because, I like the way that flows. It's quicker. It looks good, better than a voiceover.
Yeah, it's just quicker, right? Because it feels like you're always coming back. So it doesn't feel like someone's over you, talking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always feel like when it's someone just, you don't see them or in it, you can tell that the sound quality changes. It feels like... It feels like they're gone and they're I don't know. It's just the atmosphere I don't like. But I do like when you start the video out, it sounds the same and you continue talking through it. I don't know. It's worked pretty well. My freaking trailer video is at almost 100,000 views now. And
that's
just
awesome.
what it was at 20. I was hey, it went from 10 to 20. That was 3 days ago. It's already at 100,000. So it's taken off, which that's the same style I did for that.
I would say obviously people like that style. So that's
a lot of people actually commented on that. They're like, thank you for not talking too much, but explaining things. I'm like, you're welcome.
Yeah. I get that fairly often too.
LaCroix.
Gay.
Hey, cardigan guy.
I know. That's coming from me, so that should mean a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding, everybody.
Metro Man himself over there.
I'm just kidding. But
what else, man? What'd you do today or this week, Brandon?
A lot of things, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I went to, what day did I do that? Friday, started tearing down the pergola even more, I think. The days all blended together, but as a whole, went to work on my day off to work on the TV console for the Builders Challenge, and then realized that our shear is not hooked up, and I forgot, so I couldn't do anything on the base, but I got all the slabs ran through the giant planer and sander, and they're sitting here with epoxy in them. The deadline's next Sunday, so probably not going to be done in time. But I'm going to try. And then what else? My buddy came over and sanded some doors and said my Merca is ridiculous and it shouldn't be available because it sands too well. He's never used anything like that, and he's like, what is this?
I've been really looking at him here lately.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's like, this thing is ridiculous. I'm like, well, it's $700 sander. He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm not buying that. Yeah, but I said, if you ever doing it every day and you're spending a lot of time sanding, and I feel like it's worth it. But
is that with a vac system?
No,
that's just for the sander.
It's like $1,500. Sanders or the vac's like the same price.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, Worth it, right?
Buy once, cry once.
I feel like I'd be crying for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Full disclosure, I did not buy it, but I would buy it. And let's see what else. Oh, I got the pergola built. I don't know why I keep calling that. I don't know what to call it. What do you call that?
It would be kind of like a lean-to, sort of.
Yeah, lean-to roof. Covered porch.
Yeah,
covered port. We'll go with covered patio. That sounds
Covered
more
patio.
fancy. It's fancier. I could wear my cardigan
It's
out
a
there.
badass grilling station covered.
Yeah, basically just did to protect the grill.
Yeah.
And then, so have regular lumber prices went up a lot around you guys?
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Dude.
Yeah. Like triple.
I didn't realize. Yeah, because I don't buy like construction lumber, so I don't really notice. But I went to buy. I was like, I'm just gonna do this out of fir and like stain it, and so it'll last a while, But nothing like redwood or cedar wood. But I didn't want to spend that much money, dude. I went to go get 8-foot 4x4s, which used to be like $6-7, $12 for one, and I was like, what? And I looked at the redwood, and it's like 14, 16. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna do it all out of redwood then, I guess. Even the 2x6s were insane.
It'll
like
look better too, though.
Yeah, it definitely looks better. I just hadn't planned on spending $600 on the project, but whatever. At least it's up now and it'll look good.
Yeah.
I've got 3 4x4s just in the ground in concrete over by my pull equipment that's up next to my house because I was going to put a pergola over it just to make it look nice because it's just pull equipment on the side. They've been there for months now because it skyrocketed, and here because of the tornadoes that hit, or the tornado that hit back in March right as COVID hit. You can't get supplies. Like, I mean, there's people every morning lined up at Home Depot and Lowe's waiting for construction material. Decking boards.
Wow.
You're not getting decking boards right now.
Wow.
You've got to like order them way in advance, or you have to be there when they're shipped. Yeah, it's tough to get all that stuff right now.
Yeah, it's tough to get a lot of stuff apparently because I went to my mom ended up getting a big RV park model trailer that we can put on my property and stuff. It's like a 40-foot 2019. Got a super good deal on it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, she's stoked about that. And for those of you that are listening and donated to the GoFundMe, you helped do that, so we really appreciate that.
Really cool.
Yeah. So I went to go get like electrical to like run a hookup to my house, and the wire's obnoxiously expensive, by the way, if you're curious. Basically it's 160 feet away, so 160 foot 50 amp service, like extension cord, basically is about $1,200. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm just gonna run it underground because it's cheaper. But by the time I rented the trencher and spent the time to do it, and then it's permanent, like we might want to move it around. I don't know exactly where we want it. So by the time I do all that, it was going to be about the same price anyway. So I was like, well, I'll just get that. But anyway, I was going to put a 50 amp breaker in my sub panel. Apparently the Square D brand, which is like the Home Depot Homeline brand or whatever that's most popular, they don't have any of those breakers for those at all available. I'm like, oh. Cool. He's like, what brand is it? I'm like, Square D. He's like, that's going to be a problem. I was like, why? Of course it is. Why? And he's like, we haven't been able to get those for months. I'm like, oh, cool. But apparently there's another brand that fits it. The Siemens, whatever that one is. Siemens something. Anyway, I got stuff on order. But yeah, just seems like everything is hard to get now.
I think you guys you guys are living in two spots that have been hit with stuff, right? Like you got hit with a hurricane or there. You guys have been hit with fires, so people
yeah,
are.
But he said it's been like that ever since COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, back in March, you're still recovering, Jesse. You said tornado back in March, and you're still. Oh, geez.
Oh, dude, there's the school my kid's school and the school next door. They still hadn't started construction on it. We don't have football fields. Every one of my daughter's cheerleading stuff's at away games. They're still like houses that haven't been touched because of insurance reasons, and
I'm sure COVID didn't help, like, because at first everyone was locked down, so you're like, oh crap. Got you.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, even go ahead.
So here I can get almost everything. Like, I haven't had an issue. The only thing that went hard to get to for a little bit was pressure treated 4x4s, and that was just for a little. Prices are up like crazy. Like a 2x4 whitewood is freaking $6 when it used to be like $250.
Right.
Like, what the heck?
Crazy.
But other than that, I can get everything I need but we don't have anything that hit us like both of you guys. So
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a problem with the supply of lumber or anything. Just the prices have went crazy.
Yeah, I think we have the price problem like everybody else has, but the supply problem because of the tornado and all the rebuilding and the demand of it over here.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are still here. Like, when the campfire came through, Paradise in 2018, there's still people, like, haven't even started building yet because there's just no one to do the work because they're all so busy.
Yeah. When I went to buy 2x4s recently, I like looked at the price and I was like, I just bought walnut. I'm pretty sure it was like the same price as this.
Right?
Like it's in the same ballpark.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm looking it up now at my local Lowe's. Just take a guess how much Top Choice 2x4x8 board is.
Probably $7.
That's a Top Choice.
$6 or $7.
Yeah, I would say like
$9.48.
Wow.
Dude, that's
for
crazy.
For a 2x4.
For a
So
2x4.
Is
Made out of fir or pine. Or
yeah,
whatever.
it'd be like Doug fir.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The Top Choice Whitewood stud, $7.37.
Crazy. It's not even
For a
kiln dried.
2x4. For a 2x4.
I know,
And it's not straight, I guarantee you that too.
Not straight, wet.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That sucker is curved like an S.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna be doing some hardwood projects for the next while, that or metal or something, because I don't plan on. It's starting to get cold
metal
here,
prices
too.
are up too. If you were curious,
Really? Well, that sucks. But
they're not as bad as wood, but they are up a little bit because of the supply problem.
well, I'll be diving into that probably in 3 weeks or so. So we'll see.
Right.
But I have I'm gonna do. I want to build 2 more sheds in my backyard, and
You're probably better off buying sheds. To be honest with you.
No, I'm not saying this year, but like I need 2 more sheds, and I was thinking about possibly building one, but with the prices, there's just no way I'm going to do that.
Yeah,
And
it's
so,
way cheaper just to buy those pre-made ones, and they even come and put them up. I mean, unless you're like trying to do a video on it or something, but
No, but it's still, dude, they're 3 times as much as the material. Like if
Really?
you just go buy it, because we priced it out in my old house when we built a shed, and I built a 8x12 shed for 1/3 the price as what they were selling like the pre-made kits for. So you're probably breaking even if you went to build it yourself right now.
Right.
So it'd still probably be better to buy a kit just because. But
right.
anyway, I think I'm gonna stick to just doing shop stuff and furniture and just fun projects, I guess.
Yeah, I did film the patio cover thing that I did. We'll see if that does any good. Dude, it's so hard to film outside in the sun.
It's awful.
I hate it.
I was like, I even messaged Nick today. I was like, hey, how do you film outdoors? Because I turned my ISO down to like 100, which is as low as it'll go. And then the aperture all the way to like 3,200 before it even stopped being super dark or bright, whichever way it was. But yeah, he was like, you need a filter on your camera, on your lens. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
You know what I do? I just say automatic and just don't worry about it.
I tried that. Doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't.
No, I know, but you get to the point where it's like, am I going to mess with this camera all day and not do the project? So I just switch it to auto, because I this year in the summertime I did a bunch because I had all the solo stove projects. So I did in the backyard theater or outdoor theater. So I had a ton of projects outside where it was sunny and then cloudy and the sun, and I was so tired of worrying about it. I was like, automatic. If it's shit, it's shit.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna go with it.
I've done some stuff outside and it's not too bad, but the problem with this was the way the sun comes through. There was like a really hard shadow line, or like a bunch of them, because of the way that it was built. So there's like super bright on the cement reflecting, and then super dark where the shadow was. So it was like you couldn't see anything that was in the shadows, and the sunlight was blown out. So I was like, this is ridiculous. But he's like, you need a filter. Like I think it's like a ND filter or something. I don't know. I have it for my GoPro, which I forget I even have. It's in my boat. I probably would have been useful to use on this, actually.
Do you guys use your GoPros?
I've got a GoPro in my drawer. No, I was going to say it's in my drawer, and I never bring it out.
That's what I just said. I got it for like fishing mostly, because I was gonna like.
Have you ever used it in your shop?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
I think you could get some really cool shots. I think.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the time to set it up is worth it. But
and then to edit 2 different camera views and all that.
Yeah, because it's going to be drastically different. And
Right.
GoPros, you can't set up. I could be wrong because I haven't done one since I think I had the Hero 3 back in the beginning of college. So it was a while ago. But you can't obviously do as much settings with color and stuff. So they could look completely different when you start downloading it. And you're like, oh, I got to color grade this and try to get them to match. And
yeah, I think that with the one I have, you can do quite a bit. I got the 7 black version.
Is that the newest one?
No, they have like a 9 now, I think.
Geez. See?
Yeah. It goes to like iPhones. It's only like 2 years old. And from what Nick was saying, there's not much difference between the 7 and the 8, and that's why I bought it. And so it does more than I'll ever use it for.
Jeez, they're as bad as the iPhone.
That's what I said. It's like an iPhone. Dude, the new iPhones don't come with a charger or headphones.
Yeah.
As usual, I wasn't listening to Brian.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah, isn't that crap?
Appreciate that.
Isn't that I saw that
That's the most
too.
ridiculous. I didn't even know that, and I've been like listening to a lot of stock podcasts, which is strange, but because I've been into that whole thing. But they talked about it on like 3 different ones and never said anything about it. And then I listened to another one, and I'm like, God, they're talking about the iPhone again. So I'm like skipping through, and then I just happened to stop, and it's like, I was disappointed because it doesn't come with headphones or a charger, and I was like, what?
Well,
That
and they haven't
seems
come with
absurd.
headphones in forever, right? Because it's
No, mine came with headphones, and it's an 11.
the
It
wired
didn't come with the
ones.
AirPods.
Wired, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So mine actually did too. That's right. Sorry, I was thinking just AirPods. But yeah, so
Right.
okay, it comes with that. But now they're like, we don't want to give away headphones. We don't want to give you a charger. It's like,
Yeah.
but you guys have the best chargers. You only spend, but then they charge you like $80 for a charger or something stupid.
Obnoxious amount.
It's
But
like,
you have
well,
LiDAR for some crap you're never going to use, probably.
Dude, I don't get it.
Yeah.
What it is they want to cut costs, and what they're saying is, hey, we're environmental, and this is why. It's like, no, it's because you want to make more money on every iPhone. You don't want to have to ship them out. That's the only way.
Well, they were talking about in there, and they said because of the cost of the components they put in the phone, then it made it to where if they wanted to keep the same price point, they had to do something. So that's why they took it. But still, it seems ridiculous. Here's your phone. Can't charge it. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
What?
So whatever. It's just annoying. I forget it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Will I get it eventually?
I use wireless
Right.
chargers off of Amazon anyway. So
Yeah.
The Apple ones seem to not work very well. They'll work for like a month and then quit.
the wireless ones.
No. Oh, you said wireless?
Yeah, he said.
wireless.
Right.
I use all the
I
wireless
do
charging
too.
stuff now.
Yeah, me too.
I bought one actually on Amazon, and it's an all-in-one. So it's a little stand, and you put your phone on it and charge your phone, and then your watch goes next to it, and then my AirPods go next to it, and then an Apple Pen on the back, and charges everything at one time.
Really?
I'm not
And
that fancy.
It was like
just have the
$20
phone.
on Amazon, and it works great.
Send me the
it's
link.
awesome.
That sounds perfect for me.
Send me your affiliate link,
No, that
please.
sounds. I'll buy it off your affiliate link. Please.
I
send
will
it to
make
me.
you
I
40
will.
cents.
No, but
If I make 40 cents off of that, I've done something big.
That sounds
Right.
perfect because I have my phone and my watch on like a double split charger with 2 cords going up, so that would be perfect for me.
No, this is great.
Oh, that's cool.
I finally, I feel like I'm in touch with the younger crowd now because I finally had to get one of those, what are those things that now I sound old.
I bought this thing. I don't even know what it's called.
This is how he starts it too. He goes, so I'm pretty hip, you know what I mean? And so them youngins, I'm pretty hip with the youngins, the crowd. It's like, all right,
This
all right,
stupid
old
thing
man.
on the back that pops out like a button, and you put your hand on it. And
pop
it helps you hold
socket?
your phone.
Oh.
Pop socket. There you go.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what they're. I'm not that hip apparently. I've never used one. Never knew what it was called. I've seen the people with like the little loop too. So instead of the pop,
Yeah.
it's like a little
Yeah.
loop. You
I didn't see the
stick your
loop until after I got the stupid pop socket thing, but I had to get something because these phones so big and heavy.
I know.
I didn't realize it, but I put my pinky under my phone when I'm holding it, and I'm playing on IG and looking at YouTube or doing whatever. And after a while, I was like, man, my pinky's sore.
Get like an indentation from the battery or where the cable plugs in.
Hold it, so
Hey
Now I
Jesse,
can
when
just
you
put
don't
my-
when you don't drink, you complain a lot. You know that? we need you to drink more. Let's do that.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's
I
funny.
made jerky.
You did.
It was
That's right.
Jesse did too.
Both of you guys did, and
Let's
stole my
talk
thunder.
about Jerky.
He stole my thunder.
Well, no, I didn't steal your
I was
thunder.
upset.
I went out into the woods.
I was like, I'm gonna go make some beef jerky, and Jesse's like, yeah, well, I'm making deer jerky out of my jalapenos out of my garden and soy sauce and shit.
I went and harvested my own animal.
Right.
Butchered it and had to make my own jerky, but it's fine.
Just had to man up one more than me, didn't you?
okay. So what's the process? Explain the process, because I've never done it. And
It's
I
like
wanna
the
do it.
easiest thing.
All right.
It was
I mean,
extremely
well, we did two completely different things apparently.
easy. We did.
I went to Sportsman's Warehouse, which apparently Jesse doesn't have.
No.
And
I have one.
yeah, sweet. So they have like a jerky cure. I'm sure they have it everywhere. It's called like, I think the brand is High Mountain, but they also have High Country. I'm pretty sure the one I got was the High Mountain, but it just says jerky cure and seasoning on it or whatever. You just follow the directions. It's pretty simple. You mix the seasoning and the cure together. For whatever reason, it says don't use more than you can use in one thing, but they're both dry ingredients, so I don't really understand it, but whatever. And then I just called the like deli and had them slice London broil jerky thin, which apparently is like between an eighth and a quarter thick. And I highly underestimated how much 10 pounds of beef is.
It's a lot of meat, dude.
So I'm like,
It's a lot of meat.
yeah. So I was like, called him, and my friend told me what to, tell him jerky thin or whatever. And it was only
It had to
$2.90.
take him all day to slice the
Oh,
10
dude.
pounds of meat into 1/8-inch sections.
It's only $2.99 a pound. I was like, this is cheap. I have so much jerky, and so I was pumped. And I'm like, he's like, how much do you want? I'm like, well, I don't know, 10 pounds. And he's like, okay. And then I'm like, sweet.
He
And I
would look
walk
at you
in.
like, okay.
Dude, yeah, I walk in and I told the girl, and she's like, she like acted confused, and I'm like, I don't know. I called and they told me just to come in. It was at like a grocery store.
She's like,
and
yeah, look, hey, we're gonna have to bring you. You're gonna have to pull around to the back,
Right.
up to the dock, so that we can load it.
Drop your tailgate.
They just bring a whole cow leg out. Like,
Yeah, no,
here you
they
go.
brought like the biggest styrofoam thing they make, and it was piled and like wrapped like probably a good 8-10 inches tall. And it was, she's like, here. I'm like, thanks. And that's literally all I bought. So I just carried this up to the register. It was hilarious.
That's funny. So
Anyway.
they sliced it for you.
Yeah,
That's
for
cool.
free. They didn't charge for it or nothing. I
That's
was like,
nice.
sweet. Yeah. And so I brought it home, and like the seasoning is done per pound. So I had to weigh it and all that. And then you just put the seasoning and cure like in a bottle and shake it up. It comes with a bottle and everything. And then you just sprinkle it on there and flip it over, sprinkle it on. And then you put it in a bowl and like toss it so it gets covered. And then put it in a bag and let it sit overnight, or 24 hours, they say, for 1/4 inch thick. And then just smoke it at 200 for like 2 hours. And that was it.
And no liquid,
That's
right?
easy.
Just all just dry rub.
Yeah, and it's super good. I took some to work, and one of the owners, she texted me. She's like, this jerky's amazing, and I will buy as much as you can make. I was like,
Oh, nice.
So there you go. You got business.
right? I know,
Yeah.
side hustle.
You're
Wait
like,
for
would you
the
like 8
FDA.
pounds? Because I have enough.
Wait, yeah, right.
gotta
Yeah, so I
Walker's,
was like, what
Woodworks,
am I gonna
jerky,
do with
and
the
more.
rest of this? Because I'm like, I get like 3 pounds out, and I'm like, oh, my smoker is not that big. Like, this is the only instance I feel like I could benefit from having the bigger model. But dude, I got out 3 pounds, and I sort of got it fit. I mean, exactly on the bottom and top, and I had none left, and I was like, this is like the perfect amount. But I vacuum sealed 2-pound increments after that, so they're frozen. But yeah, it ended up being
Wait,
out
are
of
they-
3.
Are they vacuum sealed with the seasoning in it?
No,
already?
no.
Okay.
No.
All right. Just making
It
sure.
says not to let it sit over 24 hours for whatever reason. I don't know what that would be, but
For dry
maybe
rub? It's weird.
it's like a cure. They say it's a cure. So I don't know. There's like a dry rub seasoning packet and then a cure packet, which is like some salt and white stuff. I don't know what it is. I didn't read that much into
Maybe it's
it.
tenderizer in there.
Maybe, yeah. Tenderizer, and like maybe there's some sort of enzymes. I don't know
But-
that activate something.
It was
I have no
really,
idea.
really tender. Like, it wasn't chewy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
little
get
bit.
when you go get freaking jerky from a bag, sometimes it's really good. Sometimes
Right.
it's hard as a rock, and
Well,
you're like, this sucks.
I think you determine that by when you take it off the grill, mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I checked it at like an hour, and it was like super chewy, like steak nugget type stuff. When you buy, you can buy those. It's like something like that. But I let it go like 2 hours. I went a little over 2 hours, and I think next time I'll stop it right at 2, because after I pulled it off and let it like cool on the racks, it hardened up a little bit more. So I think 2 hours is kind of the sweet spot for that thickness anyway.
That's cool. So what did you do different, Jesse?
Well, for one, I used venison and from the deer I killed last year. I was trying to clear the freezer out because deer season started now. So I was like, I had some steaks left in there. So I pulled it out and thawed them. I hand cut mine, 1/4 inch.
Did you cut them when they were frozen still?
No.
Because on that direction thing, it says like if you have leftover roast or whatever, freeze it and then cut it when it's frozen, because you can get way more precise thin cuts that way.
That makes sense.
And that is absolutely true. You can. Excuse me. But these were fairly thin steaks, and they were already sliced from the butcher when I took had the deer processed. So getting them consistent was not a problem. I was able to easily do it with a knife on the cutting board. So I sliced up almost probably more than 3 pounds, a little more than 3 pounds, maybe right at 3 pounds. And then
but yours were thicker than mine.
Yeah, 1/4 inch thick. Just about every single one of them were eyeballed 1/4 inch thick.
Right.
But I used some Worcestershire, and that is the hardest word in the world to say off the cuff, by the way. Yeah. Thank you. And soy sauce, and then a bunch of spices. So those are the only 2 liquids. I think maybe a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in there with it.
I thought you had like teriyaki sauce too or something.
No teriyaki.
That'd
in
be
this
good
one.
though.
Yeah.
I just saw like 10 ingredients. I was like, this guy.
And then I used all kinds of different spices. And then I went out to the garden, of course, and I have a couple pepper plants still kicking butt out there. So I grabbed some cayennes and cut them up and threw them in there with it. But it made it pretty spicy. I used some red pepper flakes. I used some crushed red pepper. Then I threw those peppers in there. But it's not unbearable at all. It's spicy, but it's not unbearable.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it looked really good.
And then I smoked mine at 165 degrees for about 4 hours. So a couple hours longer than Brandon, but mine was quite a bit thicker too.
Yeah.
And it is perfect. Now, there was some around the edges that got a little too crispy for me, or some of the smaller, thinner pieces, because hand cutting
same here,
were a little too crispy. But for the most part, all around, that was the best jerky I've ever made. It was amazing.
It's awesome.
Sweet. Dude,
yeah, the one I used was like garlic and cracked pepper, I think. It's pretty good. Yeah. I got that one in the original, which I'm going to do next and see what it's like.
Sounds good. I'll have to try it. I've seen people take actual like New York strip steaks and cut them thin and do that as jerky. I was like, oh, that actually sounds pretty good.
I've seen people do it with like carne asada meat too.
Yeah, that's skirt steaks is what. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
think they did it with. I think basically they just dehydrated carne asada meat, like it was already marinated, like carne asada is.
Well, and they just
I think that's
cooked it like jerky.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Yeah, so I cooked a skirt steak from because I got that quarter of beef, so we pulled it out and stuff. Cause it was pretty good. I actually liked it. You can tell why they use it for carne asada because it's a cheaper. It's not as lean or it's not as tender and stuff.
Yeah, it's more tough.
I love carne asada. So
it's a larger piece of meat, right?
Yeah. So this it's longer. So it's like this long, but it's always folded in half. So you unfold it, and take it out of the thing, and so it's this big. So I had to cut it in multiple.
Listeners can see that really well.
Oh, sorry. It's probably sorry. I forgot. That's why you should watch the YouTube. No, so it was probably 18 inches long, folded in half, and then it was good though. I was happy.
So I guess I'm thinking of something different. I think I typically use outside flank
steaks,
which is basically the same size as that, then, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I really should I don't know, study up on like where the steaks are and what
Yeah.
you use
So
them
I think
mostly but
when I make tacos, I do outside flank steak, and then I'll take one of those. You know, they're really long, kind of 4 inches wide,
yeah.
maybe 18 inches long.
Yeah.
And I'll cut that in half, and then I'll start the charcoal grill up, get the charcoal good and hot, put it down the bottom, and then I just throw them straight on the charcoal after I marinate them and stuff. I don't use a grill grate with those. It's about
cool.
2 minutes on each side on the charcoal, and then pull it off and wrap it in aluminum foil for about 10 minutes, and it is one of the absolute best steaks I've ever eaten. It's amazing.
I've seen there's a guy we probably talked about. I know we've talked about him, but over the fire cooking and
he's here in Nashville.
Is he? Dude,
Yeah.
his account is awesome, and he cooks everything over just a straight, almost everything on a straight fire. And when he puts those cowboy steaks just freaking straight on the coals, it looks so good. I don't know, everything he makes looks absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And he posts every single day multiple times, so I'm like, dude, are you cooking that stuff every day? Because if so, I'm so jealous. I wish I could cook freaking that many steaks a week. But
I was on his website today looking at some of his spiceology spice mixtures. Oh my God, there's some on there that look just amazing.
I know.
I think I'm gonna get some.
Order some. Yeah, I think I might order some for my dad for Christmas too. And I know he doesn't listen to my podcast, so it's okay. But I think I'm gonna order some for him. And that's a cool thing about when you have brothers that are super into barbecue. It's so easy to buy something. It's like, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of spices and barbecue sauces from other places. Right. And every time I get them, because I got a bunch this year, I'm like, yeah, this is so cool. Like, I'm so pumped. So I know they're gonna be excited. It's easy. It's become.
Dude, those spiceology ones come in beer cans.
Do they?
You open it, you open it just like a beer can, and then it's got another top you put onto it after you've opened it that first time. But that first time, it's just like cracking a beer can.
Oh, that's cool. That's
very
good marketing right there.
Yeah, very cool.
That's way sweet.
The barbecue platform's a good one for that.
Right. Yeah, the kid that works with me, he showed me a dude on Instagram. I can't remember. I think it's like something the meat maker or something like that. Matt the meat maker, something like that. Anyway, he had like these, I think they were tenderloins, like pork tenderloins, but they were super long, and he like made them into the shape of a pretzel. And then he like put seasoning. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
So weird. He made one with like sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, and then one with like a vinegar barbecue sauce, and then on the sweet one he put like brown sugar and stuff on it and cinnamon. And then the other one he did whatever else and then smoked. Dude, they looked amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of steak it was. I don't remember, but he cut.
It was pork of some kind.
Was it pork? Okay,
yeah,
so he cut whatever it was really long and so pretty thin.
Yeah, it
so
was the beginning. He like sliced.
I
think it was like, I thought it was tenderloin, but I could be wrong. He sliced it, and then it was super. Yeah,
that makes sense.
It looked amazing. Tenderloin. It looked like it was candied almost.
Yeah, it was. Dude, it looked great.
Yeah, I was like, I'll take two.
Most of my, what's funny is the more that I've gone into barbecue, I love woodworking, and that's what my page is, obviously, mostly. But my Discover tab and everything I follow, most things I follow are barbecue.
Yeah,
and it's okay.
That's how mine's turned also. It's like a mixture of both.
Well, you text us like every day you're out there right now, and I get it because that's how I was when I first got mine. But like every time you do that, I'm like, I should probably go smoke something. It's been a while. I only did it once this week, and I just had.
I just feel like I need to get my money out of it.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm like, well, now I want to try all these things. Like, I'm not going to do another tri-tip for a while because I want to try like ribs and other stuff, I did do burgers on it, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, I love burgers. Smoked burgers, the best.
It's definitely different, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. It doesn't taste all like hard like a hockey puck. So
yeah, but I'm just so used to like the charbroil taste of like a gas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't get that. It's like more of a.
Did you hand press your patties or just frozen patties?
Yeah, no, they were hand pressed. They were like they were in part of that HelloFresh box thing that we get, which is really good, by the way. Cool. And I even can cook it because I can read. So
that's how most recipes work. If you
Yeah,
can
but
read, you
these
can-
are like laid out, and they send you like all. You don't even have to buy anything. They send you all the little packets of spices and like everything, and it's just all right there. And it's all pretty good, like stuff. So they were like jalapeno stuffed patties that you make. Like, yeah, they were pretty good. Or pepper jack stuffed. I don't know. They were good though.
You've come so far, Brandon. So
I know.
in like
Just-
a month. It's been like a month.
I called JP last night. I was talking to him, and then I said I had to go. I was eating dinner. My girlfriend had made one of them, and it was like cheesy chicken crusted something in like black bean crema. I don't know. It was delicious. and then he's like, "Oh, you're come a long way from the Taco Bell eating Brandon I used to know." And I was like, "It's funny you say that because I told her that looks like an enchilada because it's sitting in these like 10 pans and it's surrounded by like black beans with sauce and stuff and cheese all over it."
when
was-
Brandon and I first
was
met
good.
on Instagram, he ate Taco Bell at least 4 nights a week. At
I
least
was
4 nights a week.
I was bachelor padding for sure, dude. I was
like,
thinking about
bro,
it
we
the
gotta
other
do
day, and I
something
was
about
like,
this.
I eat 100 times better than I ever have my whole life. I used to eat so horribly.
Well, we moved out. So when we lived in
Bad.
town, we live outside town now, the south end of Logan. So Logan's where Utah State University is. That's where I went to college, stuff like that. Anyway, when we lived in the like heart of Logan, and we were by all these restaurants, we ate out all the time. And then now that we moved 10 minutes south, and we're in this little town of 3,000 people, we eat out maybe once every 2-3 weeks. And it's like, oh, it's so much better for me. It's like,
Yeah, but
even real food.
even that, I mean, eating at restaurants is not horrible. I don't feel, as long as you don't order something,
it
cheeseburgers
depends.
every time.
It
But
depends, right? If you go to Chili's and order
Right.
their what is it, the Chipotle chicken crisper?
yeah,
Things
probably
like
not the greatest.
3,000 calories. Trust me, I've eaten quite a few of those. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
But I was more into like microwavable burritos about
um,
mac and cheese in the box, all that good stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
my
it
wife's
was
a good cook.
it's no good.
Luckily, I don't
Yeah,
know.
my
some-
girlfriend's a good cook and she likes to cook. She baked chocolate chip cookies last night. Pretty
Nice.
good.
You should have her smoke them. Also
Yeah.
good.
She's I don't know. I haven't really brought her on board with the smoking completely yet. But
So
she's
okay, so my dad, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try smoking a dessert, right?" Which I was like, "That's cool." So he chooses out of all the ones you could do. First of all, when you say smoke a dessert, the first thing that comes to my mind, which I think would be delicious, is a smoked apple pie with the like ice cream on top. I think that sounds really good. Like, I think it could complement each other really well. Anyway, so he goes and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna smoke a key lime pie." I'm like,
Ugh.
first of all, I hate key lime pie to begin with, but then you put smoke with it, and it's like, that just sounds really gross to me.
probably
And
not the
my mom
best.
said it was the worst thing she's ever eaten in her life. And my dad's like, it was not good. It was bad.
I don't recommend to a friend.
I was like, so it doesn't sound good at all. He's like, well,
1 out
follow
of
the
5
recipe.
stars.
Yeah. And yeah, so anyway.
Smoked key
I followed the
Does that
recipe.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it
Just
does not
because you
sound-
can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was watching that American Barbecue Showdown show, and one of the guys smoked like s'mores in a waffle cone. That looked pretty good.
S'mores would be
Nice.
good because that makes sense. They're all
Right.
already smoky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
So,
be good. That'd be easy.
so this week in the wood shop, I'm doing something kind of a test. I don't know. I'm not really sure. It's one of those projects like there isn't like a tutorial out there, and it's not really something that you can look up or see that it's been done. So I'm not really sure that I can do it. And I'm hesitant to even talk about it on here because I want it to be my next YouTube video. And once I say it on here, I feel like then I got to do it.
You got
You better get it done before Sunday.
This also,
or
yeah,
next
this
Thursday.
also comes out on Thursday, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
got a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
of time. So let us know what is it.
So we've been talking about barbecuing and stuff so much. I was like, I'm gonna make a giant, like really good big cutting board, right, for the barbecue enthusiasts, like
I
a
was
good cutting board. with
Thinking
the
of
meat.
that today also.
Yeah, I need a juice groove. I've got a couple cutting boards that I've made, but they don't have juice grooves. They're not really huge. They're designed to fit in my kitchen cabinet, and I want a big boy, a couple inches thick. Then I was like, well, how can I make that even better? Because, like a big cutting board, that's cool. People have done that before, but how can I make that better? And I was like, all right, I've got to be able to store my knives in it. as
Oh,
well.
like have a drawer.
So I don't know how I've done it yet. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to. It's going to have knife storage in the cutting board somehow. So I got to figure that out.
It's gonna have gas struts.
Yeah.
It lifts up.
Secret door compartment.
That'd be a bad idea though, because then you're like, you have your meat out, you start cutting it, and then you're like, oh crap, I grabbed the wrong knife, and then now your juice is on the top, and then you're like lifting it up to grab your knife. Would not be a good idea.
Where it leaks down into all the knives.
Cross that one off your list. Let's do a drawer. Drawer would be the.
I'm not thinking drawer either. I'm thinking more like a butcher block style. Not butcher block, like a knife block. You know, that just has the slits in it.
Right.
So I'm thinking about somehow doing it that way, but I don't know whether to go in through the store it from the top or through the side, or how I'm going to make it secure or what. So I don't know. It's still a concept, but I've got to get it done.
Now you're obligated.
No,
holding
that's
you
cool.
accountable.
I don't know how you're going to get those slits though.
We're not talking about like a full knife storage. I just want to, have a good chef's knife and maybe a deboning knife or something. You know what I mean? Just your two most used knives when you're barbecuing or something. So I'm going to make it happen.
What if you just had routed out slots for it on the sides?
Yeah.
Then we could just sit there.
But he wants something so where you
could capture it, I guess.
Yeah, he wants some I see what you're saying. You want something to the point where you're like, damn, you see it, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. You.
But I also want it to a point where people can look at it and go, damn, that's cool. And I think I could do that.
Right. Yeah. That's the ultimate goal.
There's a lot of stuff that people make that I'm like, that's really cool. I know. I don't want to try that at all. Right. Where it's people doing stuff with epoxy or concrete, and and you just see the start of it. They're like, okay, first I have to build this form so I can make that form. I'm going to start. And I'm like, as soon as that starts, I'm like, okay, I'm going to skip to the end because I'm not building it. So I'm just going to go to the end. And
you're like, I'm already tired just watching.
I know.
My neighbor likes to make jewelry boxes, but he makes really small, intricate jewelry boxes with doors, and they have little where you hang necklaces on it, but they turn on the inside, but they're real small. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't. These Vienna sausage fingers cannot build stuff like that. I don't have the dexterity for that. But those are one of those things when I look at them like, that's awesome. Get it.
Right. Yeah. You have 1,000 hours in that 10-inch tall box. That's dedication. It's awesome. I'm not doing it.
Well, I'm finishing up my walnut tabletop, and
hey, that thing looks beautiful. By the way, I saw it.
Yeah.
After you put the finish on it, that walnut is awesome.
I love it. Yeah, that's that rustic. That was $4.
I know. I almost messaged you is that the rustic stuff? Because there's not very many knots in it.
No, dude. I filled in with the Star Bond adhesive. Probably 4 knots on the top, and then I filled in depending on how big the knot is on the bottom, I'll do it, and so I did a few on the back too, so more on the bottom, so it was barely any. I had to use epoxy on one part because there was a little bit of a gap where the joint, anyway, it wasn't like the joint was messed up, it was just basically a big knot on one of them, so I used a 5-minute epoxy on that because that's what I had, and I used every bit of the epoxy I had on that stupid table, and so I don't have anything, so I just bought that 5-minute epoxy.
Dude, have you ever seen the 1-minute epoxy?
Oh
my god, they are not joking.
Oh really? You got time.
How could you mix it that fast and get
dude, I know. That's the thing is you better hurry and be right next to whatever you're going to put it at. We had some at work, and that's all we had, and I just needed to fill this little bitty crack, and I was like, I'll just use this stuff. Dude, I swear to God, by the time I got done mixing it and I scooped it off of the tray I was mixing it and touched it to the wood, it was hard. And I was like, how do you even use this? It's not even a minute. It's 30-second epoxy.
How impatient do you have to be to use 1-minute epoxy?
I know. I'm like, what is this for? Who did they make this for? I don't understand. It's crazy.
Yeah, I actually like that 5-minute.
Yeah, the 5-minute epoxy.
You got
nice.
ghosts?
I keep a couple.
Yeah, do you hear that? Did you hear that?
Something.
That freaks me out.
It's all thunk.
It's probably my dog.
All right.
I hadn't heard it.
See you later. If you get murdered, at least it's on video.
It's recording.
Right. Oh yeah. Dog.
You're gonna see Jesse's like in those movies where he's like fighting something. You see him go across the screen one way and then across the screen back the other way.
With nothing there.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Dude, that scared me.
You're safe. You're safe. Everything's okay.
I figured it was, but I was like, why are my dogs out this late? Usually we let them in.
I was waiting for the Glock to come out.
Right.
I know. I didn't have it on me. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Right.
Yeah. Only one of my dogs. My other dog's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's another thing we're gonna have to talk about on a podcast sometime is some gun talk.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Brandon's like, but my state sucks. Sorry, Brandon.
I was talking to is Johnny, right? That's his name, the work gear guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him, and he started showing me his collection. I was like, oh, so jealous right now. Yeah, like
no, he's
like
he's
one of
way
those,
into it.
Yeah, he was showing me like one of his SIGs, dude. So sick.
Yeah.
I'm from Tennessee, bro. It's illegal for us not to own a gun.
Whatever, Jesse.
Kind of Utah too, dude.
My buddy moved to Texas, and he's constantly like teasing me. He's like, "So I went down today and bought an AR with a 100-round clip, and just walked out of the store with it." I'm like, "I hate you."
Yeah, he also called it a clip.
Yeah. So
if
he calls it a clip, be like, you need to stop. Just
Stop.
you need to stop. It's a magazine.
Magazine.
Yeah. So yeah, Utah's always in the top 5 states for carry, which is awesome. Yes. And I love it. And yeah, so that's always fun. But I forget what I was talking about before. My dog scared.
So we were talking about 5-minute epoxy before, which I like 5-minute epoxy as well because it's in those like syringe tubes or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you can kind of like push them out, use a little bit, and store it. It's nice. Actually, I like it too.
Yep. And so I just throw it in a drawer, and I usually go buy 3 at a time. So I always have them. And so it's really easy to use. I love it. And so if you've never used epoxy before, if you're listening, never used it, and it's kind of daunting, that stuff's easy. Just it's so simple.
Just don't fill a very big hole with it because it will turn white.
Well, yeah. So what I always do is I actually use sawdust and I mix in with it and put it in, and
that's a good idea.
That way it actually matches the color and it's not.
Yeah,
because
I do that with glue. I've never done that with epoxy before.
Yeah, works good actually.
Makes sense. I don't know why I wouldn't.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog's coughing and crap. Are you gagging?
Yeah.
Don't die.
Dog throwing up.
All right. Yeah, he's all gagging after he came in.
Jeez. He ate a slug or something. No good.
I hope he throws up on Jesse's shoes.
Right.
Yeah, between the two of you, look, let's talk about this for a second. I'm in this podcast by protest anyway because you two knuckleheads have changed the time and the day so many times.
No.
We're gonna record this thing.
I just made a suggestion.
No, Brandon started this ball, and it just kept rolling.
I was like, it sucks that every time we go to record, I'm like about to eat dinner, and it's like my day off.
Brandon tried to move the entire recording of the podcast.
Here we go.
He was missing out on activities, quote unquote activities. I'm not sure what activities he was doing, but
I was building a patio cover in my cardigan.
Why don't you eat at like 6 o'clock like a normal human being and stop waiting until 7 p.m. to eat?
Whatever. Okay. I don't even have work until 6, so I'm used to eating at 7, 8.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
thanks
but
thanks
on
to Brandon.
Sundays.
Since I'm in Central Time, we now start recording the podcast on one day, and we end it on another day for me.
You're welcome.
Hey,
that is not what I suggested. For one, I said, "Can we do it on a different day?"
But
and then you were like, "I can't. I'm important, and I get called into work."
But you did text me personally. You're like, "Hey, how can we make this harder for Jesse P?" And I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And
there's that.
There's that.
Yeah. My kid's got hockey practice 4 nights a week. Y'all are killing me.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're going back to Sundays.
Long story short, we settled on an hour later on the same day. Yeah, but then I forgot we had scheduled Keith to be supposed to be this episode, and then so there was a lot of back and forth there, and now we're here.
I mean, this is our 10th. Congratulations, by the way. This is our 10th episode.
10 episodes, everybody.
Yeah,
in a row without taking a week off. By the way,
the good news is we are still the same shit show we were on episode 1.
Yeah, so 0% more organized.
We have not improved whatsoever, and yeah. That's funny.
Oh, it's been fun. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I just want to say that I went 10 episodes with 0 audio screw-ups. Unlike
That's
I can
true.
say for the other Jessies.
It's true.
Hey, I had a backup last week. That's why we do it.
That's true.
I do like how we've
Pretty
formed
sure that
into
was my
a lot of
suggestion,
barbecue.
by the way.
Yeah.
You do what now?
I say I do like that it's formed into a lot of barbecue. I love it
Yeah.
because it's just us and we're talking about stuff we enjoy. So I feel like it's more natural than.
Yeah, I was worried I wasn't going to like it that much, but I actually do, so I'm happy about that.
It's amazing. But yeah, I've had fun. It's been a good. I like just talking crap with you guys. First of all,
Yeah.
and to the 10 people that listen, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
We
Thank you.
appreciate all
So
of you.
I keep getting people asking me about the shirts, so please announce that more.
Yeah, so I'm working on them, and we're gonna order samples for ourselves, make sure we like the quality of the shirt, whatnot, and then we'll release them after that. So it should be in the next couple of weeks. If you guys want to support the podcast, you can buy shirts, and it helps pay for software crap, things like that, and just basic stuff.
And
so
part
we
of
can
my
keep
truck
going.
payment.
That's not gonna happen.
No.
He gets paid zero. Out of all the people here, he gets paid 0.
I do the most work. Do you know how hard it is to find those woodworking memes?
the ones he posts occasionally. Anyway,
It's true story.
all right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Like always, subscribe, like, share, rate us on iTunes if you haven't already. Apparently, that does help. And also, if you rate us, 5 stars is the good stars, 1 star is the bad star, just for clarification. And thanks for listening. Now go build something.